And a pleasure to have with us in studio now, as he is kind enough to do each and every year, Greg Meyer, of course, 1983 Boston Marathon winner, 7-time Riverbank Run Champion, and boy, by all accounts, everything we saw, Greg, from the weather to the way the event went, the security, the friendly, it was as good as it's ever been, it seems.
Really was. You know, when you talk about, the perfect day,
right.
It was there. I mean, there was no wind. It was cool. It was, it was good for spectators, good for runners, good for the dogs that were walking. It was, I mean, it really was a great day. Really nothing really bad happened.
You talk about hitting the jackpot. You said yesterday that these racers, the elite athletes, they came out and they raced. And then, freakishly enough, the times of last year and this year, first and second, identical.
That is amazing. I mean, we just can't get over that.
Yeah.
2 years in a row, to the second, first and second place. But as a former athlete, you love to see people race. And when you put a field together, you never know. Sometimes they hedge their bets and they all run slow in a pack, but not this year. They just took off and raced. And on the women's side, with Kellen Johnson Taylor, I mean, she was away at a mile, but she went out in 5:16.
Yeah.
And see, you just don't do that. That's 5K pace. So. But I found out later from the other girls, it's like, yeah, we all knew she was going to win, so they were all running for second to begin with. But no, it's nice when people go and the gun goes off and they commit to it, rather than waiting and waiting and waiting. And as we were talking earlier, to have 4 guys racing with 1.5 miles to go, we haven't had that before. And they were all good guys.
And then there's, of course, the drama of who finishes first, both on the men's and the ladies' side. But the big story turns out to be who finishes second or first amongst the U.S. With Landry, and to tie a record. I mean, that made it a special event as well.
And again, how weird is it?
2 years in a row.
He tied the record that was set last year.
Right.
And the USA Track and Field rules are sort of funny. He actually was 0.2 of a second under 1 hour, 14 and 18 seconds. But the USA Track and Field rule says on the roads you round up.
Right.
If he would have been under 1:04, 05, they would have rounded down, and he'd have had his $5,000. But just to respect the effort that he put in, we're going to take care of him and give him a bonus of $2,500 because he's sharing the record.
Yeah, which makes for a pretty good take for him overall this week.
He had a good day. I was teasing him last night. I said, you made $12,500 here this year.
That's pretty good.
So yeah, it's but good athletes. And this year, what was unique, I thought, was I didn't know a lot of the guys coming in. I know who they were, but I didn't know them personally. It was a really nice group of young athletes. They were just nice people.
Now, Landry had a great day, but someone who didn't have a great day was Julius Qatar. I mean, he's last year's American winner, set that record, and now the co-record owner, not even in the top 15.
Well, he was actually the overall winner last year. Mo Farah, who won the American race last year, actually pulled out with an injury earlier. But Qatar just had a hamstring problem out there and ended up getting a ride home.
Wow.
Those things happen. Yep. Those things happen. If you're not 100% at a race like this with the competition they're facing, things can go quickly.
Yeah. Doesn't take much, does it?
No, it doesn't. It doesn't. It's like a slice into the woods.
Yeah.
Oops, I'm gone.
We all know that doesn't take much. Obviously, you've been a great ambassador here in West Michigan for running. Can you talk about Dathan, first of all, did a great job also on our coverage in the morning. Having him here, the story about him, the news rather, that he's coming back to go to Grand Valley, going to move back to West Michigan. How important will that be for the running community to have a 3-time Olympian, back here in West Michigan?
It's going to be huge. And by the way, congratulations. I've heard nothing but great things about your broadcast.
Yeah, they did a great job.
Yeah, it's terrific. Dathan adds a lot of excitement to the running community, not only in West Michigan, but in the Midwest, because the Chicago Marathon, he tends to run there. This will create a buzz. The fact that he's going to come back and be a volunteer coach out of Grand Valley is, I think, terrific for Grand Valley. But it's also preparing him for what he wants to do when his running career is over, which, he's a smart guy. He knows the steps ahead of him, but 2016 is first and foremost on his mind. And I think what he gets out of moving back here is happiness. This will make him happy. And as we say, a happy runner tends to be a fast runner.
Yeah. Well, we appreciate him taking the time to help us with our coverage. We appreciate you coming in today and having 2 great names in the world of running here in West Michigan. Can only help to build the sport. Thanks for coming in tonight.
Hey, thank you. And thanks for all your help with the race.
Yeah.